There's more reporting this morning on her concession speech, or her, it's not really a farewell speech. It's more like, I'll see you shortly for the presidential run speech. Where, do you know that guy, James Goldston, who used to run ABC News, who's been helping her with the January 6th committee theater, produce it and try to make everything snazzy and TV, appropriate. He was there shooting her little concession speech, her, I'll be back speech. Clearly, she really is planning some sort of a political comeback, or maybe some documentary about herself that nobody wants to see. And in the midst of all of this, maybe that's why she incorporated this reference to our 16th and, arguably greatest president ever. Here's the sound, and then we'll talk about it. This is SOT 3.
The great and original champion of our party, Abraham Lincoln, was defeated in elections for the Senate and the House before he won the most important election of all. Lincoln ultimately prevailed, he saved our Union, and he defined our obligation as Americans for all of history.
Okay. What was that doing in there? And do we really believe there's any political future for Liz Cheney?
Well, let's start with the obvious fact that there's never been a candidate for office in history who's had such ample time to plan a concession speech, right? she's had months and months and months to come to grips with the inevitable, and getting blown out by 40, I think, may have even exceeded her expectations in that regard.
Yeah.
But obviously, at some point along the way, she basically just stopped campaigning, right? I mean, she made her entire campaign and her entire political identity about Donald Trump, right? And so, like, I read in the New York Times this piece about how Hageman, who defeated her, told her staff that, you want to just go, let's do the bare minimum research here. Let's look on her congressional website and see how many times she's mentioned Wyoming or inflation or Biden, right? Zippo, right? It was just Trump. It was just January 6th. So, I mean, look, if you're running to try to represent people and their interests, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but the economy's not awesome, right? I got to imagine
Not
people
awesome.
in Wyoming have a opinion on that. Well, the representative isn't really interested in that, apparently.
She's way more interested in taking shots at Trump. She's got like a personal thing about Trump. I get it. She didn't like January 6th, but like to have been this obsessed with it for this long, given the numbers facing the economy and her hometown, like there's some sort of personal thing going on there. And then to use the dad at the last minute, like Trump's terrible. I was like, okay, she needs to move on. The country's focused on other things. The only people interested in that are at the Lincoln Project, which is probably why she had that reference in her little speech. They see her as the modern day Lincoln.
I think it's a fitting end to this saga, in that, her campaign eventually just became a theater production, like you were saying earlier, Megyn, with this snazzy TV production of the January 6 hearings, and they bring in the big wigs to make it snazzy and all that sort of thing. Well, in television, you get to the end of season 1, and some characters, they're no longer on the show.
Kill off the character.
Yeah, and that's Liz Cheney's fate. They did the focus groups, they listened to the panel, and they're like, we don't really like her as a character on this show.
She's not coming back for season 2.
Au contraire. Listen to what she said to the Today Show when they pressed her about whether she was going to be running for president. SOT 4.
Are you thinking about running for president? That's a decision that I'm going to make in the coming months, Savannah. I'm not going to make any announcements here this morning, but it is something that I'm thinking about, and I'll make a decision in the coming months.
Okay. Literally, other than the Lincoln Project, who would vote for Liz Cheney? Well, like, who?
There are always going to be half a dozen people who get less than 1% in Iowa, and I guess she's going to cast her name in with that.
Is that just for the end of her series that she's shooting with Tom Goldston, the ABC News guy? Because I don't understand. Liz Cheney seems too smart to think in any world she's got a shot. And by the way, for what party would she be running?
Well, that's a great question. That is a great question.
I think it comes down. So there's something I always say: you can either make a point or you can make a difference. And I think she's not interested in making a difference. She's not concerned with the interests of the people of Wyoming. She's trying to make a point. She's like, oh, wow, democracy is going to die if people don't vote for me. If people don't love me, it means democracy is dying. And this is all Trump's fault. She's done nothing to address the concerns of the people of Wyoming. This isn't about Trump. This is about her not doing her job. When you have over 2/3 of voters in her own party said, we don't want you representing us. You haven't done your job.
And right now it's sort of a honeymoon with the liberal media and sort of the establishment left. But I think what she's going to find out here over the next few months or the next year is that honeymoon phase is going to wear thin pretty quickly. Yep. I mean, you remember when Howard Schultz, the Starbucks CEO, was going to launch this independent bid, and everyone was super excited right at the beginning. And then the entire Democrat Party was like, hey, actually, no, don't do that because you're going to siphon away votes from us. And I think this whole honeymoon's going to end real quick.
Do you ever wonder if your vitamins are working? Clinical studies show Healthy Cell's new ingestible gel technology called microgel delivers maximum nutrient absorption, 165% more than tablets. Think about that. It tastes great too. It's hard to make vitamin liquids or gels taste good naturally, but Healthy Cell products are the best tasting pill-free supplements on the market. Go pill-free and get up to 15 pills worth of nutrients in one ultra absorption gel pack, saving you money and time and giving you effective doses. Take a single great tasting gel pack at home or on the go. It's great for travel. You can mix it into drinks or blend it into smoothies, and you don't have to worry about that chalky, disgusting thing when you get the tablets. Old-fashioned tablets, capsules, and powders contain synthetic other ingredients like binding glues, flow agents, fillers, coatings that could irritate your gut and are just disgusting. Plus, it's made in the USA. Visit healthycell.com/Megyn, MEGYN, or use the code Megyn for 20% off your very first order. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.